Leo Hanlon, and this is Beijing Time, the show which brings you hundreds of adventures from the city of opportunity. Today, I'll be taking you to a shop down Fangjia Hutong, most of which has been here for over 700 years. But before I do that, I want to show you what's in store today.
Find the recipe in the menu and begin to prepare them. Put them into the oven, then click the warm-up button and let the oven do the rest. How to clean up the air that they breathe more cheaply.
Here we are in Liangxifang, and there are hundreds of beautiful qipao. What's a qipao? Oh, it's the Mandarin word for this kind of traditional Chinese dress. I came here today to buy one of my own for an event tonight that I can't wait for. But before I wanted to wear one, I wanted to find out the story behind it. And it turns out there is a long one. Aha, I like this one. The qipao first came into existence in the Qing dynasty. That was the last one before the Cultural Revolution, and it ran from 1644 until 1912. Back then, the country was run by Manchu people, and those were the people who were broken up into a certain social strata. One of those classes were called banners, and they had to wear the qipao, including the men. Back then, it wasn't as tightly fitted as it was now. All you could see was the head, the hands, and the tips of your toes. And if you didn't wear that, you were punished by death. Oh, and it's the same time as if you didn't shave your head and plait the back of your hair, you could be killed for that as well. Ugh, sounds pretty horrible. Oh, hey, you know what? I should show you the place that I'm going tonight when I find my perfect qipao.
When people used to gunbei, or say bottoms up in China, the drink in question was invariably a clear, strong white spirit called baijiu. But now, all that is changing as people get a taste for a more refined drink, red wine. In just 5 years, sales of red wine have soared by 136%, with French Bordeaux among the favourites. Chinese red wine lovers now down near 2 billion bottles of the drink a year, more than that drunk in France or Italy. It's seen as healthier, maybe a little more sophisticated, and certainly a lot easier on the head. Wine expert Yang Dongsheng, who has more than 20 years' experience, has his view on the trend.
随着年轻人的思维活跃，加上对西方国家的一些文化的一种认识，80后、90后的一些年轻人呢，越来越接近一些国际的口感。
The color red is also auspicious in Chinese culture, but that alone doesn't explain the trend. China has launched an anti-extravagance campaign, putting an end to lavish public spending on banquets, which has seen profits dive and high-end baijiu makers such as Wuliang Ye down nearly 10% in 2013.
中国人现在对健康的认识意识越来越强。从养生角度来说，还有很多60后、70后的人也喜欢喝一些葡萄酒，所以这个葡萄酒在中国消费群里边的份额还会再增长，白酒还会再下降。
Most red wine drunk in China is still made here, about 80% from two main brands, Great Wall and Chengyu. But Yang says his job is to educate his customers.
中国种的葡萄藤，它母体的年龄不够，结出来的果子它就肯定达不到那么好的一个效果。中国现在很多酒庄已经做得也非常不错了，但是法国的还是要优胜一些。
So how does he see the market for wine in Beijing compared with, say, Shanghai or Guangzhou?
北京它是一个政治文化中心，有很多全国的或者中国的甚至涉外机构都在北京，那么对葡萄酒进入呢，也起到了非常大的一个作用。
Figures show that people spend half their life on preparing, cooking and eating food. So if you live to 70, eat 3 meals each day, that adds up to 76,650 meals in your lifetime. So how do you spend your eating life? What if you're not very good at, or even can't cook? Well, that's why we need smart home furnishings, like a smart oven to help you out. Chinese electrical firm Haier launched its smart oven in Beijing at the beginning of March this year, and it's said to be the cleverest one in the world. But how clever? Haier product manager Will Liu explains.
如果你不会烘焙的话，我们这个菜谱，手机的菜谱里面就直接可以把模式、温度、时间给定位好，听着语音，然后去操作，然后一直到一键烘焙触发、烤成品、拍这种照，再到分享，完全是在一套环境里。
Let's take chicken wings for example. Find the recipe in the menu and begin to prepare them. Put them into the oven, then click the warm up button and let the oven do the rest. The process is very simple.
我们会找10位左右，就中国烘焙比较好的大厨，由简单的这种小饼干、曲奇，到中间比较有难度的面包，或者到比较有难度的拿破仑啊、马卡龙啊、戚风蛋糕。那么好，让它设定由简单到难的任务。用户呢，从易到难，自己深深喜欢烘焙的同时，这个任务还有金币，还可以换黄油啊，换马苏里拉起司啊，换高筋面粉，换模具。
Safety features include a double-layer glass door so that heat is contained inside, important if you have young children. It also reduces heat loss. When you've finished your meal, you can save and share your experience with friends and family, or comment about it online.
智能家居我们海尔是加入了一个叫 Outjoin 这样的一个联盟体系，现在有三星、有乐视、有 LG， 还有松下。这时候你会发现，你用的可能是海尔烤箱，但是呢会在烤箱提醒说，哎，主人已经烤好了。这时候在你的乐视电视上会弹出，哎，提醒说你烤箱里有烤的东西。我准备吃鸡翅。这个时候，它一个三星的冰箱顶上，哎，竟然会提醒说，哎，你三星冰箱里应该存这个鸡翅，现在冰箱里没有，你需要去购买。这样的一种家居联动的形式，是不同家居之间形成一个场景来服务于人。
It is said that 2014 will be the first year of smart home pre-production, 2015 will be the year of fast development, and 2016 will be the year when smart home furnishings are widely applied. Are there amazing ideas tucked away in your mind? Do you think a little differently? Are you focused on fun? Or were you born to make things? If your answer is no, well maybe our next feature might suit you better. If the answer is yes, then bingo, you're just the person for us.
创客是一种人和一种生活方式，
是一群非常可爱的孩子。
是一群无时不刻不改变着我们生活方式的人。
Makerspace is a public environment open to anyone who's interested in realizing their creative ideas. It's no surprise to find artists, designers, engineers, students, do-it-yourselfers, and so on here. It not only provides space, tools, and guidelines for bringing your ideas to reality, but it's a place to meet cool people from different countries, backgrounds, and ages and get inspired by each other.
他们来自各行各业，聚集在一起。
他有自己的想法，
通过开源，通过共享，把他们这些奇思妙想
变成现实的人，因为他们利用新的科技领域，和一些艺术性的结合，然后转变着人们的一些对于技术对生活影响的方式，爱动手，爱动脑筋，愿意把科技和艺术结合起来的这群人，所以我们称之为创客吧。
Tired of carrying a bulky keyboard with you? How about a laser keyboard? Are you jealous of the color-changing squid? Don't worry, they can teach you to make a color-changing light. Love music? You can make a pocket music box. Oh, that doesn't impress you? Well, how about making a guitar from paper? Software to make your own ring which you can bring to life with a 3D printing machine? A pencil to make different music as you draw? A pet robot controlled by your mobile phone? You name it. Almost every week, there are creative activities like these taking place here at Makerspace. If you missed out on helping with these exciting projects, don't worry, there's something coming up that's just for you, the Maker Carnival.
主要就是一个体验、交流、展示的平台，有时候在北京，有时候在上海，还有可能在深圳。这个活动初步定于今年6月举行， 那在5月份的时候，我们会发布相关信息，欢迎大家来报名。
It's hands-on experience for this group of young people, how to clean up the air that they breathe more cheaply. They're learning how to make their very own DIY air purifier. The workshop is organised by a team called Smart Air, whose staff members are Anna, Thomas, Gus and Ted. Smart Air sells an air purifier on their website for just 200 yuan, or about $32 US.
The product that we promote and sell is actually very simple. It's a filter, a HEPA filter, and a fan to push air through the filter. And what my friend Thomas did is he put those two things together. He just strapped them together and made his own very basic air purifier.
You might wonder how such simple equipment can compete with brand products that have been through testing, research and years of production. Smart Air did their own experiments and monitoring to assess their effectiveness on removing PM2.5 and PM5 particles.
The graphs that we have are basically, they show the particle count. Turn on the filter, close the doors, the particle count drops and stays at about 10 to 20% of what it was before, and then when the filter turns off, that count creeps back up.
The products are sold online, but customers are given a chance to judge the product in regular workshops and then decide whether to buy or not.
I read about it online and I realized that maybe we didn't need to spend more than $1,000 US on an air purifier, so decided to come check it out.
I used to have breathing problems, so I really care about breathing clean air.
In Beijing, an air purifier usually sells for several thousand or even 10,000 RMB. If a fan and a filter together can solve the problem, then why are other products so expensive? Gus explains.
You know, those other expensive filters, they have activated carbon, they get a little bit of chemicals, they get smells. But most people in China, when they talk about air pollution, what they're actually concerned about is particulate matter. And people seem to think that in order to combat particulate pollution in their air, they need to pay that much. And they don't realize that when they buy those expensive filters, what they're paying for is other things.
As Beijing tackles its air pollution problem, air purifiers have become essential household items. In the winter in particular, sales soar when the smog strikes and PM2.5 readings go off the scale. Now, this profitable market might just be carved up by cheap product makers like Smart Air.
We actually want to have a product available on the market that uses the same basic technology at the same price. An ordinary Chinese person could make a very easy price comparison in a supermarket.
Everyone in the workshop bought a DIY air purifier. Obviously, people are convinced this basic equipment is enough to improve their air quality at home.
Oh, this was a great presentation. You know, graphs, everything, you know, like a background, you know, everything.
They were very careful to say that they don't do the same things that a Blue Air or another brand of purifier will do, but for the job I wanted to do, I think it's going to be a bargain.
Most people in this workshop are foreigners, but Smart Air has already attracted Chinese customers. They set up a shop on Taobao.com, one of the largest online shopping platforms in China 4 months ago. It shows they sold nearly 1,000 purifiers last month. If Smart Air achieves mass production, it could be major competition for the big brands.
So, what do you think? I think it might be a little bit too big for a wine tasting, but if I was getting married, then this would be the traditional Chinese dress. I was thinking for tonight, I could wear something a little bit more like this, really fitted to the body. You know, as time went on in China, the qipao got slimmer and slimmer fitting, probably to do with fashion, that and a mix of it being more convenient to move. Hey, you know what? It'd be a good time to answer the questions that you guys have sent in this week, and I remember the first one off the top of my head. It's, where's the best place to study Chinese when you're in Beijing?
Hello, I am Quentin from Paris. I'm French and welcome to Hutong School. I'm really happy that you're coming today. And I've been here for 1 year in Beijing. Then I have learned a lot of things here, a lot of Chinese. It's still very difficult, but it's really good.
你好。
我们现在正在学关于目前和现在的区别。
是吗？
我跟你讲过吧。
现在就说现在，目前也说现在了，差不多吧。对，我也喜欢差不多这个词，因为有时候很有帮助。
哎，你好啊，我是 James 啊，我是英国人，我的中文名字是詹姆斯。
太性感。If you want one day come in Beijing learn Chinese, like you have to come to this school, Hutong School. 我等你，我在这里等你们。
I hope those answers helped you guys out. And if you have any more questions for me about Beijing, big or small, then send me an email at annie@bon.tv or just shoot me a tweet at It's Beijing Time. Now, I could spend all day traipsing around here looking for the perfect qipao, but I'm not sure that you'd be willing to hang around with me for hours while I do that. So what I'm going to do is leave you with one of my favorite Chinese musicians.
On December 24th, 2010, at the Star Live, Beijing's largest live house, Su Yang released his second album, Like the Grass, with support from almost 1,000 fans that packed 300 square meter venue. Su Yang's songs mostly have roots in Chinese northwestern villages, with an electric guitar bringing a blues element with a touch of rock and roll. Combined with folk songs that have been sung by farmers in the fields for generations, Su's songs have the ability to capture a wide range of listeners. Su's debut album, Xian Long, released in 2006, was a huge success in the folk rock genre in China. The crowd showed that farmers' art still appealed to young people. Music reviews remarked his use of small-town dialect to create a connection between his art and people's real life. By pioneering a unique style, Su gave his audiences who live in the urban concrete jungles a chance to return to the fields in their hearts.
因为在今天所有的地方，全世界可能都是都市化了，所以民歌的这种老的语言，它怎么样去用，这种的，其实我觉得，大家听到它的时候，并不是说它有太高的在当代的表达的这种价值，可能更多的是大家对那种根的认同，就是它到底是我们根上的语言。
Born in 1969 in the Juesong province of southern China, Su Yang was originally a southerner, having nothing to do with northwestern folk songs. His memory of life was totally different until everything changed at the early age of 8.
我待的那个地方是一个小镇，我现在还记得，就是它郁郁葱葱的全是绿色的东西。我去之前，实际上那个很多浙江的亲戚就告诉我，那个我不是小孩嘛，他们说你要去宁夏去，我告诉你，宁夏吃的只有那个黑面馒头什么的，就是他们的意思，那边大西北啊，就是很贫瘠。76年我就跟着我妈就坐火车。 到的时候是一个半夜，特别晚，然后我父亲就拿一个288车子就把我们给带回家了。晚上睡了一觉，第二天早上我一开门的时候，我一看，基本上就是一个大荒滩嘛。
Su saw the desolate yellow plains, even though he had to adapt to his new home. A natural rebellion started to spur in his mind. He constantly cut class, continuously getting suspended. All the trouble was from the strive to find where his heart belonged. At the age of 16, he found something that he truly loved. While at a vocational school in Xi'an, he met a fellow student whose guitar playing greatly impressed him. At that moment, he was memorized by this instrument.
我把所有的饭菜票都卖了，然后买了一把20块钱的吉他，可能自己瞎琢磨了有个1年吧，就慢慢的开始会弹唱。
Blaming pubescent impulse for stepping into the music world, he quickly had a taste of fame, receiving applause after performing, often feeling a sense of vanity. In 1 year, Sue became one of the best guitar players in school, but this wasn't enough. Aspiring to become a better guitar player, he went to Beijing, then the capital of rock music in China.
因为北京当时摇滚乐队很多嘛，大家都知道。然后我们要弹得跟北京的乐队一样，我们要搞摇滚。当时连一个正规的吉他都没有买，我有一把琴500块钱的，就是非常一般的那种琴，带了大概不到1000块钱，就带了将近1个月吧，就没了，也没学会什么高超的琴技，就回家了。
After coming back to Yinchuan, he formed his first local rock band, named Lucidity. By taking on the writing and composition himself, he tried to use the music to communicate with other people. Lucidity therefore became the first original band in their province of Ningxia.
我们正儿八经的排了有个20多首歌，然后在我们那儿一个最大的一个迪厅里面，我就演了第一次。当时银川市可能从来没有那样的乐队以这样的形式演出过，特别疯狂，现场就是那个门挤的，我觉得银川市是不是所有的18岁到25岁之间的少年全来了。
Influenced by the popularity of heavy metal at the time, Sue used metal in his band to release its explosive power on stage. Immediately, they were a big hit with local young listeners. Despite gaining popularity, the band was still without direction. It dealt with improper management and lost band members frequently. In 1999, Sue called it off. In the music world, Sue learned to grow through failures. From selling all his metal for a decent guitar to leaving his band for another direction, he always found a way back to music. He wanted to sing his soul aloud, but he had to go back to his roots.
我后来就是考虑为什么我们用这么长时间去追求音乐，但是我们总是感觉到那个音乐其实怎么做它都是有一种很困难的感觉，它不属于我们的，它的那种表达方式是好像是在隔着的。
Several voices from the northwestern Yellowlands remained with Sue since he was a child, one of them being his neighbor's child singing.
我到现在还记得他叫小刚。我真正听过第一次真正美妙的歌声，实际上是小刚的歌声。那会儿我们都能看到的只有印度电影，什么大篷车啊、流浪者啊什么，那些歌小刚全都会唱，他都唱的跟那个电影里一样动听，就边跑边唱的那种。他的声音太好听了，特别自如，有点像西北的那个很多有花儿歌手也有那种嗓音，他不是很粗的那种，都是有点细，但是他拐弯的时候拐的就特别好听。
The train is gone, but I'm going to catch the next one.
By accident, he found the origins of blues, the down-to-earth, Mudwater, Mississippi blues, organic music that was recorded without post-production. Somehow these sounds resonated with Huar, the local music style he grew up with.
你说不出来的一个感觉，就是他的那种自然的那种吟唱方式，和他那个就是来自他的那种普通话体系之外的那种语言的韵味，他跟音乐之间的有一种联系，我觉得这种联系很美妙。
This connection reminded Sue of the melodies he often heard back home in the plains. This is what he wanted to express through music. The melodies were poetry of real life, the roots hidden deep within his memory.
我就拿宁夏川试一下，就是在那个琴上面，不像以前他们那么正规啊，就是要给一个弦乐啊，给一个合成器啊那样的弦乐群啊什么的。
Physically, the plain of Ningxia is located between the Yellow River and the Helan Mountains. Musically, the song is an old, well-known ballad throughout the Northwest. Almost all the local kids can sing along, although no one is sure about the lyrics. He blended the rhythm of rock music into this ancient song and made it more acceptable to modern tastes. In 2003, in a humble local tea house in Yinchuan, Sue first performed the new version of the Plain of Ningxia.
因为那其实就是一间平房，有一套音响，就等于大家都围着一个舞台嘛。外县来打工的呀，那些民工呀，下班的人呀，那样都围在那儿不走，都在那儿听，一直听完了才走。当时有一张相片，我后来还是没找到，就是有一个老姨妈，她贴着耳朵，就是那个贴着那个玻璃，听得特别入神嘛。我觉得那会儿就觉得好像这样的音乐，就你唱起来可能她也顺口，就是她听的人，她可能会觉得对她来说有一定的共鸣嘛。到底是属于我们宁夏人，尤其是老一点的人啊，他都听过，他可能忘了这个旋律，这个具体的内容，但是他肯定知道，在他的某一个时代。就是他听到的更多的音乐表达，他可能是有这个很大成分的，是有共通性的。然后就顺这个劲儿，就后来我就走上了另一条路。
Afterwards, Sue went to the most remote villages in the Northwest, where the most authentic folk music was born. By talking to older folk artists, Sue learned a variety of folk singing styles, from the renowned huar to the lesser-known tingqiang. He sang along with the older singers, gathering strength and wisdom from the Yellow Land. The more he learned about the folk art, the more confident he became about discovering the essence of music he has long been looking for.
比如说我们在跟民歌手喝酒的时候，他那种表达方式，无时无刻他不是以土地之间的那种联系作为人之间的联系。我认识一个花儿歌手叫马少云，然后有一天他给我唱了一段花，特别有意思。他说：“鸭子嘴长，爪爪短，怎么在水面上飘呢？我给你想买个羊毛衫呢，跑去了，门关着呢。”就是2句的花嘛，就是说，他们每时每刻的每一个歌唱的内容和表达方式，其实都是目光所及的，他手边的，跟他最切身的一些事物，而不是那个堆积那些就是既定的歌词，我们今天的歌词的概念。这就是我对民歌的认识，就是它跟生活之间的这种联系非常紧密。这也是就是为什么我觉得后期我越来越关注民歌，在早期的时候，他们在耕种的时候，他们产生农业社会的时候产生的那些歌，让它和今天的那个现行的，比如说摇滚乐和别的音乐种类，我觉得应该有一个结合，这样会被更多的人接受嘛。
三盘两座九月爬，西干南水呀我长大。
Sue Young believed music is more than instruments playing together to make people dance. It's the soundtrack to our most precious memories in life. The vibrations that resonates through our daily lives, bringing nostalgia to our hearts. He insists on singing in the common people's language, singing the truth about life. Just as what he wrote for his debut album, people who disguise themselves as something they are not will fade away. Honest people will be immortal.